So today we'll start talking about data management. Data management, as in, see, what we have talked about earlier is Salesforce, CRM. Uh, at the back end, it has database, right? Now, while I'm talking about database, I need to sometimes enter data one by one. Let's say you have, one new account or one new customer. You need to enter that customer's data. It's just one record that you have to enter. You can do it manually, right? So usually, this is the process that we follow. So once you are opted into Salesforce, so if I'm logged in into Salesforce, usually, what we have seen is if I need to enter some data, I just go to that particular tab and enter the data for that tab. Let's say I have a new account for my company. I just click on new, then go to the accounts tab, click on new, and then create that account, right? So it can have whatever name you want to put. You can just put the details. Let's say the account name is American Express. Okay, and then you put all those details and save it, right? So this account can be basically a client of yours. If you want to enter one contact details, some person from your customer side, then you just enter the details here, right? So through the interface, what we are doing, we are entering one record at a time, right? So if I have one account I have to enter, I go to the accounts tab. If I have one contact I want to enter, I go to the contact tab, and this is something very simple, right? Now
Yeah.
usually what would happen is someone like a developer or an administrator of a Salesforce, a trained professional of Salesforce, ideally should know the trick of entering multiple records at once. That's what we are going to talk today, right? So if I don't want to enter record one by one, or if I have a bulk data operation to be done, let's say, usually from where the company gets all this data. Just think about it. All these accounts and contacts, either the company does a research to find, let's say you are planning to sell in a certain area. California is your region, okay, and your company provides some service or product, sells some product in the California region. Now, how will you get the data from California? Either you do a research or you buy it from a database vendor. Okay, most of the companies will choose one of these things. Either they will do some internet research to find the contacts and companies of that region, or they will buy it from some data vendor. There are a lot of data vendor companies who sell data, right? So to start off with, let's say you purchased data from a certain company. Okay, you said, okay, fine, give me a list of all the procurement managers across California. Okay, you're trying to sell the product. Now what happens is you just um, kind of need to put all that data into Salesforce. Okay, so if they have given you a list of 5,000 records, you cannot simply set and do it manually one by one. Okay, that will be way too much of time consuming thing. So now we are going to learn how do we enter multiple records in one go. Okay, so data management, basically we are going to talk about bulk data operations. Okay, so for this, there is a very simple process that you'll have to follow, which you can easily understand. First is create a CSV. Let this be the second step. Okay. put all your data in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so first of all, the data that needs to be imported needs to be put in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, and then you need to create a CSV for it. CSV is a file format. So basically the Excel file needs to be saved in CSV format. Okay, just give me one quick moment. Hold on for a moment. All right. So the process is pretty simple. First of all, you put all your data in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, because multiple records can be put in an Excel spreadsheet. Then create a CSV format. All that you have to do is you just have to go and do a save as and save the file in CSV format. All right. Then we use a tool from Salesforce which is called Data Loader. Okay. So you need to go to Data Loader. Data Loader is a software which will be used for loading the data. In Data Loader, first thing that you do is you log in. First is you log in, okay, and then you say import, because you are trying to import the data from an Excel spreadsheet to Salesforce. So you just need to log in and then you would say import. That's what you'll have to say. And the next step that you'll have to do is uh, browse the file and then map the fields. That's it. That's what needs to be done. Right. So you need to put all the data into an Excel spreadsheet, create a CSV format file, go to the data loader, log in into data loader. So for logging into data loader, you will need the same login credentials as you use in your Salesforce account. You will need to just go ahead and click on import. Then you need to browse the file, the one that you prepared, the CSV file, and map the fields. Map the fields means matching the fields of your Excel spreadsheet with the Salesforce fields. Like if you see here, for contact, for example, if you're trying to insert contact, so for contact you have these field names: last name, account name, title, department, birth date, right? If the field name which are given in your Excel spreadsheet are different from these ones, you have to do the mapping. Let's say here it is called department, and on my Excel spreadsheet it's called okay. So there can be there is a scope of the name change in the Excel and on the Salesforce, right? Like this is mobile here, and on my Excel it can be mobile number. So you'll have to map and you'll have to tell the computer that okay fine, this field means this one in the Salesforce. That's it, and your import will be done. All right. So we'll do a small example and see how it works. I do have a sample file which I'm going to use. Just give me 1 minute. Let me fetch the sample file. Okay, here is my sample file. Let's say these are different accounts and I want to insert all of them at once. All right. Company name, street, city, state, zip code, country, USA. All right. So this is the sample file that I have. I need to import all these records into Salesforce. All right. So what I need to do is I just need to first of all convert it into a CSV format. Okay. How do you do that? Just go and do save as. Sample import file and format should be CSV. CSV comma delimited. This is the format that you have to choose. Okay, that's it. So just go and save this file in this format. Save. Okay. Yes. Fine. So whatever number of records you have, whatever data you have, just put it into an Excel spreadsheet, save it in CSV format. Uh, it's recommended that when you're preparing the CSV file, remove the extra sheets from here. Delete, delete. Yes. Save, close the file. All right. So the file is kind of ready. All that I have to do now is I just have to go ahead and import the file using data loader. All right. How do we do that? Where is this data loader application? Data loader is a software. Now the next step is going to data loader, right? So first two steps we are already done. Put all your data in Excel spreadsheet, create a CSV format, this is done. Now I'll have to go to data loader. On my system I have data loader already installed. You will need to install data loader. How will you install data loader? You can just go to setup, and under setup you have data management, and under data management you have data loader. Okay, so what you need to do is, you can do this after the session, just need to go to data loader and download the data loader for Windows or Mac depending on which computer you're using. You just need to download the data loader. Once you have done the downloading of data loader, it will give you an exe file. You just have to run the exe file the way you install any other application on your system. Right, so once that part is done, I think your data loader will get installed on the system. Then you can find it from here. See, this is how it's gonna get installed, and it will get listed in your programs once the installation is done. All right, then go to data loader. The moment you click on data loader, it will open the application for you. It will ask you, what do you want to do? I want to insert data into the data loader into the system, right? You have other options. You can perform delete, you can export, you can update, but this time I'm going to insert. I have data in the Excel spreadsheet. I want to insert it into Salesforce. Click on insert. It will ask you for the login ID, password. Put your login ID password, try to log in. Okay, the moment you put your login ID password here on the data loader, you will get an error. It will throw you an error. What is the error? It says incorrect login or password. Okay. Now, even if your username and password are correct, it will still throw the error. Okay. The reason for that is it requires one additional password. While I'm loading a, logging into data loader for security reasons, Salesforce requires one additional password which is called a security token. Okay. So to be able to log in into a data loader, you need the security token. Now the security token is system generated. This is system generated, and it is kind of 21 digit alphanumeric key which the system generates, and it's required to be combined with the password to log in into data loader. Okay, so how do you use it? Let's say your security token is XYZ and your password is ABC. So you will need to instead, in the place of password, you will need to enter ABCXYZ without any space, nothing. Okay, so that's how it needs to be entered. So let me get and fetch the security token. How do you get the security token for your account? You just need to go to My Settings, then Personal, reset My Security Token. This is what you need to do. My setting, personal, reset my security token, click on reset security token. It will generate the security token and send it to your email, registered email ID. Got it? So you can actually get it from here. I already have a security token, so I'll just go and fetch it from the email. So it's a system generated security token, security password. See, this is the security token that I have. Okay, so it's an alphanumeric key. So all that I need to do is I just need to copy this and take it to my data loader, and here I need to say paste. Click login. Done. So login completed successfully. Put your username, password, and after that paste the security token. Alright. Let's go ahead, click on next. Now what do I need to import? I have to choose it from here. I want to import accounts, right? So select accounts. If you want to import contacts or leads or something else, you just select that. I want to import accounts. I have to browse the file wherever I have saved it. So I saved it on the desktop. Sample import file. There's the file. Done. Fine. Now it's all the user interface. Okay, this is just a wizard that you have to, uh, go through one by step, right? So select on which data you want to import. Select the file, then go to next. Okay. Says your operation will contain 8 records. Okay. Then you just have to map the fields, as I told you. Mapping of fields is required, so you just click on create or edit a map, select this one, and then just go ahead and select the fields which need to be mapped. You can also use auto match, but see, auto match is not mapping any of the fields. At the top I have all the salesforce.com fields. Here I have all the fields from my Excel spreadsheet. Okay, auto match is not working, so let me manually match it. Billing city with the city, Company name, his account name, country, billing country will be the country, street, here it is, postal code, state. So I manually mapped all the fields. Got it? So you just have to make sure that all the fields in the Excel spreadsheet are mapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 fields were there in Excel spreadsheet and I have mapped all 6 of them. I can just click on OK. Done. So the mapping is done. I can just go ahead and click on next. Okay. Step 4, it will ask you for a directory where your success and error files will be stored. What is the success and error file? Success and error file is basically when I'm trying to perform a bulk operation, there is a chance that some records might not get through the operation. There can be some error, some small error, some issue with a few records. Let's say you're trying to import 1000 records. Out of 1000 records, 20 records have errors. They cannot be processed for any reason. Okay. So this error and success file will give you which records were successfully inserted. That will be the success file. Error file will give you which records were not inserted because of the error. Got it? So that's, let's go ahead and click on finish. You have chosen to insert new records. Click yes to begin. Do you want to proceed? Yes. You can just go ahead and click on yes. Done. The operation has fully completed. There were 8 successful inserts and 0 errors, which means all our records, none of them had error. All of them got inserted successfully. You can click on view success to see the successful entries. You can click on view errors to see the error records, but there are no errors. So the data got into the system. Quite okay. There's no problem with that. Got it? So this is how simple it is to insert data into the database. So if you have multiple records, all that you need to do is put them into an Excel spreadsheet, save it in CSV format, log in into data loader, click on insert, select the object, browse the file, map the fields and say insert. That's it. Done. Please let me know if you have any question or doubt here. Simple process. Alright. Now if you go back and look into your file that you just created, how many columns this file had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? Now when you insert the data into Salesforce, every record which is inserted by default gets an ID. Okay, so when you insert this into Salesforce, Salesforce creates an ID for every record which is created. Okay, so every entry which is created into the Salesforce, for that an ID is generated. Okay, so there is one more field which Salesforce automatically creates, which is ID. Okay, and this ID is basically the identifier of the record. Like when you join a company or when you join a college or somewhere, this is all your personal information. You have your name, you have your email, but that organization gives you an ID, a roll number or an employee ID, right? Which is your identifier, because there can be two people with the same name, right? So for that reason, the organization gives you an ID. The same thing happens here. When a record enters into Salesforce, Salesforce generates an identifier for it. Okay. Now that particular ID becomes the unique identifier for that record. So wherever you have to reference to that record, you have to use the ID. You cannot say that, okay, fine, I want to make changes in Cognizant. because there can be two cognizant in your Salesforce account. You might be having, let's say one record with cognizant US, and then you can have one more account with the same cognizant name UK, right? So this name can be different. Sorry, name can be duplicate. Multiple records can have the same name, but the ID which is generated is the unique key. Okay. So that's the reason why Salesforce creates ID for every record which is inserted. Whether you insert it manually or you do it through data loader, ID is generated. Okay. Now, why do we need ID? We need ID so that we can do, whenever we need to refer to that record, we can use that ID as a reference. So the next example that we are going to do is update multiple records. So if I have to update multiple records, the first one that we did was inserting multiple records into the database. Now I have the records already into the database. I want to update them. Okay, make some changes in the records which are already there. Now while we are talking about updating the records, then you need to refer to the record. Which record needs to be updated and what is the value which needs to be updated, right? So when we are talking about that, what we need is we need the reference point for a record. What is the reference point for the record? Which field can be the reference point for the record?
By the ID.
ID. Yes. So while we are performing an update operation, then we need to go with the ID thing. Okay. So I just did this. I just did this insert operation, right? Let's say I need to change the country. Right now, the country has been updated as USA for all the records. Okay, I just want to update this to United States. Okay. Now, if I try to do it using this name, okay, it will not understand that which record I want to make changes in, because they can be multiple records with the same name, right? So what I need to do is I just need to get the IDs of these records and then make the changes. Okay, so how will we do that? So all that I need to do this time is, for an update, all that you have to do is make an Excel file with ID and data to be updated. Here you don't need all the fields, you just need the data that needs to be updated and the ID of the records. Record ID, where will we get it? We just did an insert operation, and I told you when you do an insert operation, it gives you a log file, right? Success and error log file. Alright, here it is. This is the success file that we have received after the import. Okay. So this gets saved wherever you define that location. Step number 4, it asks you for a directory, right? So for me, it was stored in the desktop. I just opened this success file, right? The success file gives you the ID, all right? So while I'm preparing a file for update, all that I can do is I can get the IDs from here. Let me create a new file, get all the IDs and the data that needs to be updated. What do you want to update? You just want to update the country to United States. So you don't need to have all the fields now. You just need to have the ID, the reference point, and what needs to be updated. So ID will help the data loader find the exact record, and this field will be updated there. Okay, so that's it. The updated values and the IDs. That's it. Nothing else is required on this. You can just go ahead and save this. Again, save it in CSV format, comma delimited, call it sample date file, save. Fine. So my update file is ready. This time I'll go to data loader and I'll say update. This time we don't do insert, we just say update. And then which object you want to update? Let's say account. Then just say browse the file. One second, where did I save it? Sample update file. File savings. Oh, let me save it in desktop. Alright. So go and browse the update file. It's on desktop. I saved it in some other location. Here is the sample update file that I created. Now this file just has two columns, right? One is the ID and one is the country. ID is for referencing to the record, country is for the values which need to be updated. So again, go and click on create or edit map. This time you can do an auto match. Auto match will map the ID with the ID. The Salesforce I told you has a field called ID, so that gets mapped. Country needs to be mapped manually. Billing country, drag and put it here. Done. Okay. So both the fields have been mapped. Click on next. Define the location for success and error files, and then just go ahead and click on finish. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yes. So all the 8 records have been successfully updated now. You see the country has got updated to United States. Correct. So if you are willing to insert some data, then you can just prepare your file and do the insert operation. If you want to update the records, then you need to make sure that you have the ID of the existing record so that Salesforce can understand which records you want to update, right? And then you can just provide the values which need to be updated corresponding to the respective IDs. That's it. Here, the two things we have done. Now the next example which I'm going to do is delete multiple records. So when I'm able to create multiple records, I should also be able to delete multiple records, right? Delete data in bulk. So if I have 5,000 records which need to be deleted, again, obviously I'm not going to go and delete these records manually, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete them at once. Okay. So for deleting multiple records, you need to create an Excel file with IDs only. Okay. So again, the same concept. If I ask Salesforce to delete a few records to give the reference of those records, which field I will need? Again, ID, right? Because that's the identifier. So all that I need to do is I just need to have a file with the IDs of the records which need to be deleted. That's it. Okay. So when you're preparing a file for deleting records, you just need to have one column which is ID. That's it. Okay. So let's say I want to delete all these records, the ones that I've just created. So I can create a new file, take the IDs there. Just keep the IDs in this file, because for deleting it just needs to see the ID and delete it, right? So it's not update that I need to give some other value also corresponding to it. That's it. Save the file. Sample delete file. Save it. Done. So the delete file is ready. Now all that you need to do is on data loader, you just need to go ahead and click on delete accounts, browse the file which needs to be deleted. Simple delete file, select it, go to next. Okay. Here there's not much which needs to be done because there is just one field to map ID. For Salesforce also there is just one field. So just map it. That's it. Go ahead, click on next and say finish. All the records which were created will get deleted. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Okay. So are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Let me just go ahead and delete the records. The operation has fully completed. There were 8 successful deletes and 0 errors. So all the 8 records which I created have now got deleted. Alright, clear on it? No.
I have a doubt, Ajit.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's very much clear.
Mm-hmm.
I have a doubt. I mean, if in case we don't have access to the log files, where we can fetch the ID, then like, how do we access the files then?
There's an option of doing an export. I will just show you after this. We
Okay,
we
okay, all
can
right,
do
all
that.
right, all right.
Okay. So now, before we get into the export part, uh, what we need to understand here is the moment you delete the records, these records are not permanently deleted. Okay, when I do perform a delete operation, the records are not permanently deleted. They go to the recycle bin. So if you go to your Salesforce account here, you will see that, and if you go to the home page, there's a recycle bin here. Okay, click on recycle bin. All the records that I just deleted come to the recycle bin. Okay, so whenever you're performing a delete operation, generally Salesforce puts the data into recycle bin, so that if you have deleted something by mistake, you have that option of going and restoring it. So let's say I deleted all these by mistake. I can just select the records which I want to restore. I can just go and say undelete. I can undelete the data. Got it? So if I undelete the data, the records will get restored. Let me perform an undelete. So again, the data got back into the database. Got it? So recycle bin option is there. All right. So we have seen how do we insert the data, how do we update the data, and how do we delete the data from the database. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about is an export. What is export? Export is basically taking out the data from Salesforce to an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file. Not deleting the data, just taking a copy out in a CSV format. Okay. So sometimes you might need to do an export. You just want to take out some data. It can be because you want to take a backup of your data. It can be because you just want to create a kind of a report, or you want to do some sort of an analysis outside Salesforce. You want to perform some cleansing activity outside Salesforce, right? So in those cases we perform an export operation. So export will actually do the exact opposite of an import or insert. Okay, opposite of insert. So in insert, what I'm doing, I'm creating an Excel spreadsheet, CSV file, and then inserting the data into Salesforce. Okay. With an export, what I'm doing, I'm taking the data from Salesforce and forming a CSV file for that. Okay. And the requirement can be something similar to what Manjit was just asking. If I do not have the IDs available for the record and I still want to perform an update or delete operation, what I can do is I can just do an export to get the IDs and then perform the delete or update operation. Alright. So how this is done, let's have a look at it. Just go to the data loader, click on the export button. Let's say you want to export accounts, select account. Then you can select your target extraction location, okay, where you want to save the extract file. The exported data will be saved in extract.csv, and you can define the location. Let's say for me it's going to be on desktop, and I say you can change the name of the file, sample extract file, save. Okay, so this is the location where it's going to get saved. Go to next. Here you have the option of selecting which all fields you want to export. Let's say I want to export the name, ID. So what all fields you want to export? Name, ID, billing, street, city, state, postal code, country. All right. So all the fields that you need to export, you need to select them here. In case you want to put any filter criteria, you can put that here. Let's say I put a filter criteria. Only give me the accounts where the billing country equals United States. Okay. So it will only export the records where the billing country is equals United States. And you can just say finish. Okay. Before this condition gets applied, you have to click on add condition. Okay. Then it gets applied here. Say finish. We have chosen to perform an export. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Now this will create a CSV file, new CSV file with the data. Will take a minute. So this operation has fully completed. There were 8 successful extractions and 0 errors. Right. So we have got 8 records exported here. Correct. Where will you find that file? You can actually find that file in the defined location. So I saved it as sample extract file, right, on the desktop. So I can just go to desktop and find sample extract file. Here it is. Yes. This is the file that I exported just now. Clear on it? So we are able to insert the data, we can update the data, we can delete the data in bulk, and we can also export, right? So this is how these things would work. Let me know if you have any questions or queries here. Any doubts? Vipula has a question. If we click on empty or recycle bin
Yeah.
option, then are they permanently deleted? That's correct, Vipula. So if you empty the recycle bin, if they are removed from the recycle bin, the data is permanently deleted. Correct. So it's actually, suggested, just of the transactional things, something that you should keep in mind from the concept perspective. Before you perform any delete operation, you should make sure that you have exported the data or you have taken a backup of it. No matter how sure you are about it, but and we also know that okay, recycle bin is there and all that stuff, but still it's advisable that anytime while you're working, at least initial few months or so something like that, whenever you perform a delete operation, we do it still. I mean, I still do it. Whenever I perform a delete operation, deleting data in bulk, I do take a backup of it. You never know when someone else will require it. So that's something which is important. Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
This data loader, it took about 30-40 seconds to retrieve 8 records, right? Say we have more records. What is the time that it takes? Doesn't uh,
No, I mean,
do
it's
you
not
have?
that if it took, I mean, it will definitely take more than what it takes for this, but it will not take, the time proportionately. So if it's 100 records, it's not going to take 10 times of it. 8 records because some basic processing needs to be done for every file. So data loader is relevant, quite okay, quite fast. So let me give an example. If we have, let's say, 50 to 100,000 records, it might take, let's say, 4 or 5 minutes. That's 100,000 records. That's how it is.
One more question is I've noticed the date deleted in the recycle bin. So
Hmm.
if I want to restore them based on the date, um, can I export the data based on the date back and then load them back in? Or is there a way like that, or do I have to select each row to restore them?
No, tell me again. Sorry.
Um, there is a date deleted screen, date deleted column in the um,
Recycle bin.
recycle bin, right? Recycle bin, right?
Uh-huh.
So you have selected 8 columns. So I'm assuming that I have 4,000 records that I've deleted now, and then I have deleted 1,000 records an hour later, or maybe after a date change has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I sort them based on? Can I filter them based on the date to restore, rather than selecting?
Mm, for filtering, so you're saying that only the records which were deleted on a certain date needs to be undeleted. That's what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Mhm. Yeah. So we will talk about it. We have an option of, taking or exporting the records which are deleted. Okay. So we'll have to do a different approach for doing that, but that can be done. I mean, user interface will not allow, but we can do that. That can be done. So we have an option of exporting the deleted
Okay.
data also, and when you are exporting the deleted data, then you will have the deletion date field. Okay, so for deleted data also it stores this thing. So based on that you can do it. Should not be a problem. Can be done.
One more question that I have is, what are the alternatives for data loader? I mean, is only data loader associated to Salesforce, or any other tools that can be connected to Salesforce to do these operations?
No, data loader is the most common one. There are certain other applications, but if you understand data loader, we can actually work on those. The other ones are not that common, but there are one or two other applications which are designed by some other companies which can also be used. But data loader is the most common one, and it's something which is available from Salesforce.com. So we use this one. Right. Any other questions, doubts? Anyone else?
Yeah, G,
Yeah,
one
G.
question from my side.
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
can I proceed? Okay, all right. Like when we as uh, okay.